Toyota 1ZZ-FE engine VVTi. This is my 2006 Toyota Matrix. If you're watching this video because you're doing a rebuild and you're in a situation where you need to have the head milled, I'm going to tell you a success story that will maybe give you a little bit of information, and you might be surprised about how much you can take off this head. So cut right to the chase. Take a look at this here. If you're doing a rebuild right now on your 1ZZ-FE engine, you see this difference here? That is a difference of 12 thousandths of an inch, because this head had 12 thousandths taken off the bottom in order to correct the warpage that was caused by an overheat issue. If you're doing your work on your engine, this is usually a really smooth surface here on these Toyotas out of the factory. There might be 1/1000th of an inch difference. You wouldn't catch your finger on it, and I can easily catch my finger on here, and that's because this head is shorter, and like I said, it's 12 thousandths shorter. Just to give you a little visual of that, my shortest straight edge is way too long for this little small area, so I'm just going to use a razor blade just for demonstration purposes. But you can see there that gap. Let me zoom in for you. Check out that gap right there. And like I said, if I remember correctly from the machine shop, it was 12 thousandths. Let me grab my 12 here. Here is my 12. Alright. Let's see how close we can get it. Yeah, there you go. 12 thousandths. Alright, so that'll clean that up right there. Because that's what was taken off the bottom of the head. So if you just got a call from your machinist, or you just got your cylinder head back from the machine shop and they said, hey, by the way, we didn't take off 3 thousandths or 5 thousandths or 6 or even 8 thousandths, we took off 12 thousandths, and you're like, wait, what? Don't freak out, because it'll work out. I was pretty freaked out when I got that value from the machinist, because the number one thing I thought was, okay, there's no way my block is good then, because how could this head get that warped and then my block is still good? Because when I took the head off and got my measurements using my straight edge on the bottom of the head, I knew that it was warped. I could tell, and even with my inexperience and my just typical, feeler gauges and no kind of crazy machinist equipment, I could tell that the head was warped. But when I checked the block always came in within spec. So when I got the head back, the first thing I thought was my measurements must be wrong on the block. So I jumped back in and double, triple, quadruple checked the measurements on the block. I had a couple other people double check my measurements, and it kept coming back within spec. So I didn't have any work done on the block. I didn't have to, I wasn't willing to have the block decked, because if they take off 12 from the head and then I got to get the block decked, at that point we're running into some problems with fastener realignment and a little extra slack in the chain and head gasket thickness. So in my situation that I was in, if the block would have required decking, I would have stopped the job and just scrapped the car and moved on to something else. But it kept coming up as good, so I went ahead and I ran with it. And the success story on it is that was, like I said, almost 5 years ago now. She's now got 220,000 plus miles, so she's got almost 25,000 miles on since the rebuild. Never had any problem, except this O-ring back here that's that's leaking on that timing chain tensioner. So I just wanted to share that that little bit about a rebuild if you're in that situation. As far as the parts I used, I did not get a thicker head gasket. I just kept on keeping on with the kit that I had, which was the Ishino Stone head gasket kit. That was a great kit. Everything fit really well. There's just a few parts you have to buy to add on to that. I can't remember if that kit came with the valve stem seals, but I did obviously replace all the valve stem seals. I did not replace the guides. I did just a little lapping on the seats just to clean stuff up. I did take the oil pan off. I took the pistons out. I did the piston rings. I did the rod bearings. I did not take the crank out. I didn't do the main bearings. But yeah, it ended up working out. So like I said, I just wanted to do this short video here to give you some info in case you're in a situation where you got your head milled more than you were expecting. I didn't have any problem with the head bolts going in. I didn't have any problem with anything. So it worked out. Now, I don't know how much more you could do than this. The VVTi is also an interference engine. I don't think it's, you know, it's well, I mean, it's obviously not, nothing's interfering on this engine, but I don't think that they run it that close. But I don't know how much more you could do. I don't know what you could get away with on this head. I think you'd run into some problems with the bolt realignment though if you went much more than, let's say, what you see here. So if you happen to be doing a rebuild and you have had your head milled and you've exceeded what you see here, leave a comment and let me know how it goes. Let me know what problems you ran into, or if you decided to move up and get a thicker head gasket to change this geometry to bring the head up a little bit higher, or what some of the other solutions are, because these are really great engines and there's no reason to get rid of a 1ZZ-FE engine just because it's got a head gasket problem. It's a pretty straightforward repair. The prices on the parts are reasonable, and if you can do a rebuild, man, you'll get another 100,000, 150,000, whatever miles on them. My goal on this matrix is to reach the 299,999 on the odometer when it gets stuck. That's what I'd like to see. That would be pretty cool. I got a little ways to go before there, like I said, because she doesn't get much use these days, and she has that 220, almost 221. But overall, she's been a great car. So I just wanted to share that. I hope this video was helpful for you if you're doing a rebuild. And like I said, please, if you're doing a rebuild, leave some comments so that other people can maybe use the video as a reference, especially as time goes on, and hopefully these guys get rebuilt and not sent off to the junkyard. So thank you for watching, and good luck with your rebuild.